My next guest, trailblazing writer, journalist and presenter, and now Paris Lee's best-selling book all about her own life, has been turned into a new drama. It's called What It Feels Like for a Girl. Paris joins me now. So good to see you. How are you feeling now that it's out there?
I'm so excited, and you know, this is a real full circle moment for me because you were so kind about the book last time I was on, and I know you were saying, you know, it's got to be a TV show.
Oh yeah.
And now it is a TV show.
And now it is. We manifested it, Paris.
We made it happen.
I always remember reading the book, which is obviously still available, but reading the book, and it was like you were talking to me, and you don't often get that.
Yeah.
You know, the way it's written, and that's the thing when I was watching the drama. The writing is so good, and I wonder who was responsible for that.
Well,
it's your good self.
after I came on your show and you know did other publicity, it sounds like a humble brag, but I did have all of these production companies getting in contact with me because I just thought, you know, I'm ready to collapse and heap now. You know, I've done all of the, you know, the photos and everything, and then they said, do you want to develop it? And I thought, well, it's my story, you know, and so I'd never done it before. It's a very different type of writing. It's much more, there's lots more people giving their opinions. You know, it's different software. I'd never written a script before. I'd never had any sort of aspirations or pretensions of writing for television. But, you know, this was my story and I really wanted to rise to the challenge and I really wanted to do it justice. And can I tell you, Lorraine, it's been so fun.
Good.
It's been so fun. It's been stressful, but it's been really fun. And I've been involved in all of the aspects, you know, casting, locations, the looks, you know, that the girls are serving, the music, and you know, the scripts. The pilot is all me, and I'm incredibly proud because it's like, you know, that's an hour of television that I wrote, but I worked on all of the other scripts. So I really have given it my all over the past few years, Lorraine.
Well, you must be so happy now. The reviews are out and they're cracking.
It's kind of almost like, you know, touch wood, like too good to be true, isn't it? You know, because obviously you hope for that. And actually, we got the reviews that I wanted, actually, because it's not this perfectly polished sort of like cosy, you know, crime drama.
No.
You know, people have said, you know, it's fearless, it's bold, it's in your face. And it's like, that's what we wanted it to be. You know, I was thinking of all of those iconic shows that I was in love with growing up, you know, like Shameless, and This Is England, and Queer as Folk, and those kind of shows that really stick with you. And people hold close to their hearts and are just sort of like raucous and working class and just grab you by the jugular. And we really wanted to go for it. And I think a lot of people have got it, you know, so...
But what I like about it is, you mentioned the word fearless. You don't sugarcoat your story at all. You absolutely don't. It's true. It happened. You know, there was things like, you know, working as a rent boy, basically, essentially. Credit card theft, being jailed for that. But turning your life around, Paris, that's the inspirational thing. But all of that happened to you. Really, you kind of just drifted into it, to be honest with you. It was very difficult. But then, I love that. I love the but then.
Yeah.
The inner, I don't know where you get it from, but the inner strength to completely turn your life around and then to end up where you are.
Well, I think the reason that people have reacted to it, and I've had so many kind messages over the past week, is we're living in such a fake world, you know, and there's social media and, you know, I just feel that it was, you don't have to like this show, you don't have to like the book, but it's a message from the heart. It's authentic, it's my truth. And I'm not afraid to hold a mirror up and look at the darkness within, you know. And I just feel like we don't often hear from those people. You know, there are people who are rent boys. There are people who go to prison. There are people who don't have a voice. And it's really easy to condemn those people and write them off. And you could have done that with me at that age. And people did. You know, I was a delinquent. But actually, I had value and we've all got value. And I think I really wanted to explore, why do some people end up like that? Not to make it excuses, because ultimately I did the crime and I did the time. But it's like, why? Why do some people make those choices, you know? And how can we make sure that people are not going down that road, you know? And so I felt like a duty to share it because I I'm able to tell a story.
No, you are.
I wanted to tell a story from a perspective that we don't often hear from.
But it's also that thing of don't write people off. You know, we tend to put people in a wee box and we say, you are worthless. You're never going to contribute anything to society. And that's crazy because you're right. Everybody has got something. They just need a little bit of encouragement. And you were able to go to university and you were able to get a job writing and then you were away. You know, there you were. Not saying that you didn't have hardships, of course you had. But, you know, it's your story. And also what I do love about you is your story. You happen to be trans. It's not a big deal. Yeah. It's not a big deal. You're just trying to get on with your life, you know? Yeah. Well, you know, for me, I get it. I get because, you know, trans people haven't been able to tell their stories in this way before, and I feel incredibly privileged to, you know, have been given the opportunity to have this 8-part series for the BBC. But it's really not about that, actually, and it's not propaganda. It's not, you know, I am trans, and you know, obviously, I have some things to say about, you know, what it is to be a trans person. But my primary objective in writing this was to entertain people, you know? Yeah. You want to enjoy it. You don't want to feel like you're being hit over the head with something, and if you learn something and if you empathise along the way, then that's great. But that wasn't my goal. No. Honestly, check it out, watch it, and I think you will be surprised because it's not some box-ticking exercise, you know, where not in the least. And can I say, it's hilarious. Thank you. I barely laughed. I mean, there are some really, really funny scenes, Paris. Oh, and that's it, because that's life. Life is messy. Yeah. Life is messy, and we laugh and we cry and we make mistakes and we pick ourselves up somehow and we get on with it. And I actually think it's a very hopeful story as well. Thank you. And I just want to say as well, Lorraine, thank you for everything that you do, because honestly, I don't want to dwell on that because I don't want it to be the focus, but there's so much hostility for trans people in the trans community at the moment, and you've been consistently an ally, and we see you and we appreciate it, and you really use your platform for good. No, but honestly, not everybody's there speaking up for us. We're less than like 0.5% of the population, and we are under attack, and you are using your platform for good, and you were a friend, and I should have brought some flowers or something. Oh, don't be silly. I hereby declare you an honorary diva. Thank you. You are now a diva. I'll take that. We thank you, and we thank you. And what it feels like for a girl. It continues tonight, 10:40 on BBC One, but you can download the whole lot, and I guarantee that you will, on BBC iPlayer. Oh, thank you, Paris. Thank you so much for everything that you do. Can't wait to see what you do next. Hi there. Thanks so much for watching our YouTube channel. We upload new videos every single day. So click here if you're interested in this video, or head to the homepage for more amazing content.